In planning what kind of changes to make, we must avoid ineffective evasion. Do not fly a sinuous course illustrated here, because such small regular variations can be averaged out. The same is true for small regular changes in altitude. Even a constantly curving course must not be maintained for too many seconds at your altitude, because the newer directors can predict on such a curve. They can also predict on constant changes of altitude. When you consider the overall pattern of an evasive course in the sky, you can see that nervous minor changes are worthless. Instead, compromising between what confuses gunners the most and upsets your formation the least, we plan this sort of evasive action. Changes in course of a minimum of 20 degrees. Changes in altitude of greater than 500 feet. The two changes made simultaneously whenever your formation permits, and never held longer than the number of seconds which corresponds to your altitude in thousands of feet. You will be told to start this planned evasive action 3 minutes before reaching a defended enemy area. That's because you have no way of knowing when the gunner gets you in his sights. To ensure against flying straight and level long enough for the gunner to get off even one accurate prediction, evasive action is started before you're in range. If for any reason accurately predicted fire is impossible, the enemy can still resort to a third type of fire called barrage. Here the flak is fired into a certain volume of sky. Very roughly predicted, the individual bursts are inaccurate. But with all guns trained on this zone, a dense pattern is formed. To force the aircraft to fly through flak-filled space, the barrage is usually laid in front of the estimated bomb release line. The chances of being hit in a barrage are not as great as in the other two types of fire, since accurate prediction has been sacrificed for volume of fire. Evasive action will not carry the plane out of the barrage or affect its chances of being hit. The sooner the aircraft flies through, the better. Remember, the barrage hangs in one region of sky and is not predicted for any particular aircraft's course. However, evasive action during the approach to the target can upset the enemy's effort to effectively locate his barrage. If the defense knew your bomb run long in advance, the barrage could more effectively be placed in your path. Evasive action will add to his difficulties. Sure, we know it's easy to advise, and we know that with its sky full of bursts, barrage fire looks like the worst of them all. But remember first, that bursts you see already hanging in the sky are no longer dangerous. And second, that barrage fire is actually the least accurate of the three control methods. By turning away to find another approach, you only keep yourself in the target area for a longer time, thereby exposing yourself to additional fire. Further, you break the planned formation and invite added threat from the fighters. Weighing one against the other, it's safer to fly on through a barrage than to remain in a target area longer than absolutely necessary. The evasive tactics we've seen so far were designed for heavy flak at high altitudes. Bombing missions are planned for high altitudes whenever possible, because above 15,000 feet, anti-aircraft effectiveness decreases. Flak is quite accurate at 15,000 feet, but it becomes less accurate with altitude, so that at 20,000 feet, it is only 1/2 as accurate as it was at 15,000 feet. At 25,000 feet, its accuracy is again reduced by 1/2. At 30,000 feet, accuracy again is cut in half. In general, flak accuracy is reduced by 1/2 for every 5,000 feet increase in altitude. A common belief is that a magic medium altitude exists, where heavy flak has not yet become effective and light flak cannot reach. How wrong this legend is can be learned in a brief examination of the enemy's major guns. All light flak is effective up to 4,000 feet, and some special types are effective up to 10,000. Heavy flak becomes effective at about 3,000 feet, lowest level for which its time fuses can be set, then goes on to reach as high as 37,000 feet. This means that a medium altitude mission, say just about 10,000 feet, offers protection only against light flak. When we know that both light and heavy can be expected, the safest altitude is either as high as possible or as low as possible, right down on the deck. Flying on the deck renders heavy guns impotent, and at the same time gives the light automatic weapons their toughest possible traversing job because of your high angular velocity. It also enables you to surprise anti-aircraft defenses by making use of defilade caused by trees, houses, and low hills. Further, it affords a chance to come in on enemy positions with forward guns blazing. Evasive tactics at this low level, however, will differ greatly from those at high altitude. The enemy's automatic weapons do not rely on directors, for with the great decrease in the range with which they deal, the leading problem becomes almost as rapid as the duck hunters. And with the time of flight so short, gentle 20-degree changes will turn ducks or bombers into clay pigeons. So against light flak, your protection lies in maximum speed combined with all the sudden alterations in the direction of flight that are possible within the limits of your formation. Skid turns, porpoising, corkscrews, side-slipping, anything which will keep those gunners guessing. Yes, keep those gunners guessing. But guesswork on your part won't do it. Evasive action. Routes to and from the target, the initial point, and the bomb run all must be planned to take advantage of the latest available flak intelligence. And even more important, all must then be flown exactly as planned.